Sing the theme tune. Do the theme tune. Good evening and welcome to another Fortean Words. Here we are, we're live. We've done no prep because I've been decorating. So we're just going to wing it, lads. We're going to wing it. But I think we can do it.
Hobbit's on Gilded on his own. No worries. There he is.
Yeah.
Hobbit's here.
Yeah.
Remember, Hobbit's here.
Well, I just went on Gilded, and then I got like sidetracked, and it's like, oh, there's a server called Legends of the Galactic Heroes. And I was like, I remember when I was a voice actor.
Yeah. Right. So I
6 episodes they released before the lazy director done. I don't know what he did actually,
Didn't
but
he
he
have a
was
baby or
lazy.
something? Well, not he
Yeah.
having a baby, but his good lady wife.
What's he gonna do with that? Put it in the box?
Where's the fetus going to gestate? In a box? Are we even allowed to stay that in Starmer's Britain anymore?
Well, good thing we're all broadcasting from Switzerland.
Good thing we're all on Epstein Island, isn't it? No, nobody will look there for us.
It's the last place you'd look.
Who owns that now? What's going on with Epstein Island now? That's what I want to know.
I'm going to do a Fortean investigation.
Yeah.
So bear with me.
We can have a look around the island because we're only on the in the hotel.
Probably Israel owns it now, don't they? Fucking didn't he work for Israel?
Who owns Epstein Island? I think it's called Little James or something, or Little James Virgin.
We'll just call it Epstein Island because that's all it's ever going to be. Little St. James, it's called.
Oh, who bought Jeffrey Epstein's private Caribbean island? After 2 decades tangled in Maxwell's sex trafficking web, Epstein's infamous islands finally found a buyer. Billionaire investor Stephen Dekoff bought them for only $60 million, way less than the original $100 million asking price. And that's from Hindustan Times as of 5th of January this year.
Have you been on Wikipedia today? There's Wikipedia still can't be sold. Is that because nobody wants to buy it? The last line is the best one. If Wikipedia is one of the websites you use most, then if the knowledge you gain here is valuable, please give £2 and we hate you, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fucking.
How about no?
Yeah.
They're just going from the NPR thing of annoyance adverts.
Yeah. It's like all fucking websites these days just begging for money, innit? Even the newspapers do it.
If you the Wikipedia adverts, like they sort of beg you for money and they say, oh, if you don't, then these adverts will go away along with the website. And I was just like, look, you don't have to sell it to me. I wasn't going to give you any money.
We'll always have Snopes.
Is there a way I can
Snopes will never die.
charge Wikipedia money and then they have to give it
Actually,
to me?
since we haven't done much, shall we all just pick a page on Snopes? Should we just?
You know what? It's a good one.
That sounds like a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Let's just read Snopes, the episode.
We'll do that then. Hold on one second. Before we do that, so in March 2022, oh no, Little St. James and the neighbouring Great St. James were listed at 125 million. Hold on a minute. If Epstein owned both of those, why is everyone only talking about Little St. James then if there's Great St. James as well?
Oh, well, the islands we're not allowed to know about.
Yeah.
A bit like Christmas Island, you know?
Yeah. So in March 2022, Little St. James and the neighbouring Great St. James were listed at $125 million. A lawyer for Epstein, sorry, I have to pronounce it like Jeremy Corbyn, Epstein's estate.
That is the correct way to pronounce
stated
it.
that the money... Are we allowed to talk about Jeremy Corbyn in Starmer's Britain?
Who's Jeremy Corbyn?
Because he has kind of disappeared from the photo. Much it's like
Jeremy
the
Corbyn?
yeah, it's like the Stalin photo, isn't it, where people disappeared over time. It's Jeremy Corbyn's gone, and you'll be gone soon.
Oh.
So a lawyer for Epstein's estate.
David Lammy should be gone, but he won't.
Yeah, stated that what a great foreign minister. I mean, his knowledge. It's just, you could just put his mastermind appearance up, and that's pretty Fortean on its own, isn't it?
I did send a Twitter tweet to an X.
Really good negotiations.
You sent a few letters to him as well, didn't you?
I wrote to David Lammy and I said, "Dear David Lammy, who's now Foreign Secretary, did you ever find out the identity of the person who sent you these letters?" And then I posted screenshots of them.
Because we think it's Hobbit.
No, nobody thinks it's me, and I can prove it's not me.
I've checked it. I've checked the grammar. If you read those letters in Hobbit's voice in your head, you're like, yeah, this is Hobbit wrote this.
I deny all accusations, refute these calumnies.
Anyway, do you want to know about what happened to Little St. James and Great St. James that nobody talks about?
Yeah.
So they're up for 125 million, and they sold for 60 million.
Okay.
May 2023, billionaire Stephen Dekoff, under his firm SD Investments, announced the acquisition.
What nationality is Dekoff? Is he Russian? Sounds Russian.
I don't know. There's no hyperlink for him, so is he one of these?
You think he's a real person, or do you think he's some kind of front for?
Stephen fucking Jerkoff, more like.
Oh, unified Jerkoff crystal theory. Is that what we're going with there?
Oh no, he's got an article in him about Forbes. He literally, he looks like the man who could replace Starmer as like the most unassuming man you ever seen in your life.
Business clerk level of
yeah, middle manager. I imagine I imagine he talks much like Keir Starmer.
Brandon Birking in Burps.
I am Keir Starmer.
I've just banned everything. Banned now.
Keir Starmer was a middle manager, and now he's prime minister. Hope you'll have his depth.
Wasn't he like managing a DFS or something?
I think he'd be out of his depth doing that, to be honest.
No, he wouldn't know what to do with it, would he? This DFS story's disordered. He needs to.
Keir Starmer became a stapler.
Was it the one and only DFS store which didn't have a sale, and when people came in to buy like beds, he called them far right fags beer?
You can't buy my beds. Dumb Elf Kicker says Little St. James is named after St. James Savile.
Oh no!
No, really.
Oh,
that would be true, right? Yeah,
this is probably going to be dating myself now, but do you know the theme tune to Rosie and Jim?
Yeah.
On the old ragdoll. Yeah, I saw that recently. Rose West and Jimmy Savile on it.
Oh no! And don't you remember the now classic from Phil? By Rosie and Jim Dickhead.
Yeah, Rosie and Jim Dicker.
Right, so we're gonna do some Snopes posting then.
Mm-hmm.
I like Snopes because it in no way confirms all of the conspiracy theories and tries to debunk.
That's some real life. So what are we starting with?
Pick whatever you want. Dave Grohl wearing a MAGA hat. There's not even any good new ones, is there? Oh, Gabe Newell. Valve's Gabe Newell announced Portal 3 on X.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Snopes might be right on this one.
Kelsey Grammer didn't say electric vehicles are an expensive game of make-believe. Does anybody want to do that one? Oh, nice. I found one. Right. Climate change rioters set Disney World's Cinderella Castle on fire. One commenter said, I'm not falling for this again, bro. On August 17th, 2024, Mousetrap News published an article claiming rioters had set fire to Cinderella Castle in the Magic Kingdom, part of Florida's Disney World theme park. As we all know, if Disney were going to set fire to it, it'd be an electrical fire, wouldn't it? The article archived said the alleged fire was started by climate change activists and that firefighters were ultimately able to save the iconic building. Blah, blah, blah. Mousetrap News Network. Many of the commenters... Many of the comments on TikTok video expressed skepticism towards the claim. They don't tell you if it's... Oh, at Mousetrap News TikTok account, which is affiliated with the website, likewise, describes itself in its bio as 100% fake. Mousetrap News has a history of making up stories about Disney properties for shares and comments. In addition, the site's previous false claim about a fire at Cinderella Castle, so they've done it more than once. Snopes has also addressed allegations that Disney replaced Mickey Mouse as its mascot and the company had banned farting in its theme parks. So if you want a funny funny thing, do that. Go on then. You're not picking any up.
Well, I mean, single one is about fucking Harris.
Hey, can we just have a look on Snopes and see if there's anything about funny bones? Because I just banged mine and it wasn't funny at all.
Yeah. Disneyland uses feral cats to control rodent population. This is fucking awesome. Do they just go, yeah, this isn't true, but they just like, the fucking headlines are brilliant.
Alright, I got one. No, is this the headline? Yeah, the headline. No, photo doesn't show padlock grave in Pakistan meant to prevent men from raping corpses.
I don't know. I'm highly sceptical about this one.
Claim. A photograph circulating on social media in August 2024 authentically showed a padlock installed on a grave in Pakistan to prevent from raping corpses. Rating. Miscaptioned. In late July and August 2024, a photographer circulated widely on social media reportedly showing a padlock on a grave in Pakistan that was installed to prevent men from raping corpses. On one TikTok post with the claim reached more than 200,000 views as with writing, "Not even dead were safe." A TikTok user commented under the post. On X, another user shared the photograph in July 2024, capturing it. In Pakistan, parents are now putting padlocks on graves of their dead daughters to prevent them from being dug up and raped. Western countries have to stop importing millions of men like this who don't possess the intellectual capacity to understand that rape is wrong. However, while the photograph is authentic, it was not taken in Pakistan, nor was it padlock installed to prevent desecration of corpses. We rate this claim as miscaptioned. Alt News, an Indian non-profit fact-checking website, debunked the false claims associated with the photograph in April 2023. Its investigation revealed that the image was actually taken at a cemetery in Hyderabad, India. Oh, well. That makes it all better then, doesn't it? What if it's... That's an own goal, India, you know? You've got a reputation as well, right?
How about this one then? No, Michelle Obama isn't trans. Here's why her critics repeat the false claim.
He's all man.
It's
Mike. Man.
It's ma'am. It's Big Mike. After former First Lady... Go on then, Fraser, what?
No, I was just about to say, is there one about Macron's wife?
Have a look. Have a look, see if you can find it. After former First Lady Michelle Obama's speech at the 2024 Democratic National Convention, social media posts across platforms like X, Facebook, and TikTok surfaced criticising her appearance and referring to her as Big Mike, a nod to a long-held conspiracy theory that she's secretly a transgender woman.
X's real name Stephen Edaxi Lennon.
Yes. If you surely if you refer to Michelle as Big Mike, then doesn't that expose her as a demon or something? The claim isn't new. Roughly 6 years had passed since Barack Obama left the US presidency when in June 2023, podcaster Jason Whitlock released a 124-minute podcast episode. Largely, why is it they're always advertising these conspiracies whenever they're trying to clear them up? Have you noticed this? You know, if you want to know why Big Mike isn't Big Mike, watch this 124-minute podcast episode by Jason Whitlock. Largely dedicated. Listen to all 124 minutes to listen to a largely baseless conspiracy theory surrounding the former president and his family.
Largely baseless. Why not say entirely baseless?
It was largely dedicated. I think what it means, it wasn't all dedicated to Michelle Obama. I think what he means, what they mean.
Do you remember when what was her name? Ruby Wax or so said like.
No, no, it was Joan Rivers.
And then they killed her.
Well, to be fair, she was about fucking 400 years old. I don't think it was much of a shock Joan Rivers was dead.
Joan Rivers had another 70 years left in her.
Yeah. She probably did. She was yeah.
I mean, you know, just a bit of adrenochrome here or there, and you'd be fine. You know?
Joan Alexandra Malinsky. So she was 1933 to 2014. So I think she had a good innings.
No, they killed her in her prime.
Yeah,
If you get the right baby,
Yeah.
if you get the right baby's blood, you can live for 500 years easy.
500 years. In particular, Whitlock asked listeners to question whether Michelle Obama was in reality a trans woman attempting to keep her gender identity a secret from the public. Well, she kind of failed. She kind of failed on the Ellen show, didn't she?
Was it Ellen or was it Oprah Winfrey? Yeah.
It's Ellen where she's doing the workout thing and the old
just a brief aside,
and the old dingle dangles banging against the trousers.
Thanks, Dom. I'll read out your Snopes article once we're done with Joan Rivers.
Snopes got one, has he? Additionally, Whitlock has raised the possibility of Barack Obama being gay, a question that often coincides with conspiratorial thinking about Michelle Obama's gender identity.
Remember that guy who supposedly came out and said that he was Barack Obama's lover?
Oh shit! Yeah, should we? I'll Google him in a sec.
Yeah, that was memory hold.
I remember a bizarre story from his inauguration. I was listening to the Alex Jones show, and they were saying about how they were hosting a gay scat orgy in Washington DC on the day of his inauguration.
Oh, dude! Oh, no.
They didn't go on to say whether or not Barack Obama would be attending, but I seem to remember there was flies around him whenever he was being shown. And do you remember that time when he plucked a fly out of the air?
Yeah.
Double, though.
To be fair, I always thought he was the Antichrist.
Do you remember when he went to like a fancy dress party and he was dressed up? Was it as Beelzebub?
Was he?
I think it was.
No, Beelzebub was dressed up as Dragon
Johnson. This is a love letter to a girlfriend, by the way. In regard to homosexuality, I must say that I believe this is an attempt to remove oneself from the present. A refusal, or perhaps to perpetuate the endless farce of earthly life. You see, I make love to men daily, but in the imagination. This is how you get your girlfriend hot and ready in a letter.
Okay, dude.
Is this Barry Soetoro? Sorry, Barack Obama.
My mind is androgynous to a great extent, and I hope to make it more so until I can think in terms of people, not women as opposed to men. But into returning to the body, I see I've been made a man, and physically in life I choose to accept that contingency.
Is this God's straightest black man?
I don't know, it's on the fence as to whether he's that straight. I don't know.
Do you often make love to men in your imagination?
Well, what kind of straight man are you? What kind of straight man are you if you don't? What kind of straight man doesn't?
Well,
Do you ever go
I
to your
know
wife and think, I've been thinking of men lately, you know, do you want to get in the sack? Yeah, that's it.
as a straight man, it's not gay if you take Bart Simpson off your bed.
We really need Ash JJ on to clear this one up for us, don't we?
Do you think you'd take an invitation to the Fortean Words? Well, actually, you know, he's somewhat of an expert when it comes to gay neighbour pornography.
What? I know about the rape threats his friends give him all the time that he told us about.
Oh, you know, it's just friendly Zoomer humour.
Friendly neighbourhoods, rape threats,
Yeah, and occasionally sort of wakes up with, you know, the old prank of somebody shoved a condom up his bum with PVC glue inside it, and they used a pencil to push it up there. It's definitely PVC glue, guys.
I just hate it when the condom in the arse with the PVC glue, you know, it spills out. That's
Sorry, PVA glue.
Yeah.
Got to get my facts right, otherwise I'll be snoped.
So anyway, where were we? Additionally, Whitlock raised the possibility of Barack Obama being gay. Well, we've just nixed that one. There's no way he's gay.
No way.
Because of his love letters to his girlfriend. The question that often coincides with conspiratorial thinking about Michelle Obama's blah, blah, blah. The Blaze had 331,000 views on Whitlock's YouTube account as of this writing, which was August 2020. Oh, fucking hell! Why are they? Why did they do this? Oh, it's right after the presidential debate. The DNC, her DNC, her DNC, somebody's DNC speech.
His, hers, DNC's.
Yeah, somebody's. First of all, I don't know if Michelle is packing a sack or not. Royce White, a former NBA player and guest on the episode podcast, said to Whitlock, I can't be sure. I've never seen her sack. I'd have to get up really close to really know. Never been anywhere near the Obamas. When we reached out to Whitlock to ask about the episode, namely why these theories were covered on the show, when there's no real evidence to support them, he said the explanation was found within the episode. Imagine that. I'm from Snopes. Yeah, fuck off. He's going to go, oh yes, I'm going to get. You're really going to give me a fair shake over this. I'm going to tell you all about it. Despite numerous fact-checking efforts to debunk these conspiracy theories involving the Obamas, Snopes has seen them repeated on popular platforms since the early days of their careers in politics. For example, questions... Actually, speaking about his time in politics, I remember on Sky, the Vice documentary channel used to be on there, and I watched one. Like I don't remember for sure, but this was a guy who was running in Chicago, and he was like the incumbent Democrat, and he was moaning about this guy that the DNC had parachuted in, and I'm pretty sure that was Barack Obama. So like he's a 100% astroturfed. He's a weird politician, isn't he? He's totally astroturfed and appeared out of nowhere, didn't he?
No
yeah, he did.
way.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
What? For example, questions over Michelle Obama's gender identity have surfaced due to digitally altered photos. What about the piece swinging her out in her pants in the Ellen thing, or is that a microphone? You're going to tell me. To exaggerate her physical features. Is that the famous one of her back where she's like twice as wide as Obama?
Dude. That's just a tampon falling out, obviously.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's a big tampon you got there.
That big old swinging tampon you got there. As well as social media posts that speculate whether she is real.
It's like your tampon seems to have these two clock weights to it. Does that help with your balance?
But if you know, so they're saying they say speculate whether she's the real mother of her children, Malia and Sasha. As of 2023, people consistently search Snopes' site for facts on the matter, using phrases like Michelle Obama is really a man. Also, there are apparently no pregnancy photos, apart from the one that popped up recently where she's got 6 fingers on one hand.
Well, that's just yeah, you know.
Rumours are that Kate did that. By the way, Kate still hasn't been seen for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah.
We haven't done Kate Watch. There's no like new
No.
news on Kate Watch. They're just pretending
Not
she's
really.
still alive
I mean,
now.
yeah, exactly.
Full cope.
Like... Well,
'Cause
all you have to do is say, "Oh, someone's got cancer," and everyone then suddenly goes, "Oh well,
Oh well, you know.
feelings."
Oh well, you know. It's like being dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last time she was seen was very suspect, weren't it?
Technically alive, but not for long. Basically, that's what it's saying, right?
Yeah.
Fucking...
The last time she was seen was dead suspect as well, weren't it? Was she at the?
Well, you mean? Yeah.
Where was
she was at that... Oh, Troop in the Colour, was it?
Yeah, Troop in the Colour. That's it. I was trying to think what event it was, and that was weird, weren't it?
Well, yeah, because it was like no up close shots. It was all from like fucking 2 miles away.
And glitchy and
It
weird.
was a blurry image. Yeah. The fucking yeah. And then she was like not front and center on the balcony at the vote. She was like hiding in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
These claims will likely not go away, Newly Paul. How can Newly Paul? Oh, surely he's been Paul for a while, hasn't he?
I'll tell you, I've been Paul for 30 years of my life.
What is it with Americans are as bad at naming people as Ripper is, aren't they? While we're talking about this, I've got because Ripper voted Obama, so it's the right place to do it. Did you see? You saw the big sale he did the other day, selling everything for $5.
$5? No.
$5. $5. Yeah. Well, what he's decided to do, about 2 weeks into that sale, he's decided to get stuff CGC graded. You ever seen the comics in like the plastic boxes?
Yeah, I've seen the grading.
So he's decided whilst trying to flog these comics for $5, he's also decided to CGC grade a load of Isom #1s and sell them for $150. While you can buy them for $5 yourself and get them CGC graded yourself. That's pretty Fortean.
I mean, that's one way not to read them, right? If you grade them all, who's ever going to read your trash? If you fucking
exactly. But the best way to buy Isom is locked away, so you can't read it.
So you can't go insane from fucking how bad it is.
Gender and sexuality scholars. Does anybody know what a gender and sexuality scholar is?
Somebody that gets paid a lot more money than I do, and it's not called benefits. It's called a real legitimate job.
Say the conspiracy theory about Michelle Obama being a trans woman has thrived for more than a decade because it's rooted in racism, transphobia, and misogyny.
It's great. You basically get paid a lot of money to study pornography.
No, you get paid a load of money to call people racist, transphobic, misogynists.
Yeah, definitely that too. But like, there was a thing recently, like the shark signs.
What would you do it for, Hobbit? To watch the porn or to be?
Yeah.
So the UK government gave a grant. I think it was £8.1 million for a study called.
Oh shit! The porno guy. Yeah, I don't remember. I remember bits, but I can't remember the gist of it.
No, not just porn, but gay porn in history and how gays shape society. That's important, you see.
Yeah. It's rooted in racism, transphobia, and misogynies. Our favourite philosopher on this channel.
I do like misogynies.
as well as how some Americans believe a first lady should embody certain race, class, and gender norms. So they believe a first lady should be a first lady. Wow. More news at 10.
Diogenes was a student of misogynies.
Was he?
Yeah.
Misandry never gets a mention though, does he?
Well, that's because
Mr. Andrew.
Mr. Andrew was a crap philosopher.
Mr. Andrew.
He was one of those later ones with Voltaire and who's that one with the horrible bug eyes? Might have been Voltaire, actually.
Peter Lorre.
Have you ever seen the picture? It looks like you know that squeeze it stress down, and when you squeeze it, and it's like its eyes pop out and stuff like that. It looks like that, but it's actually a human being. I think it's I might be thinking of Jean-Jacques Cousteau, actually. Let me just check.
You're not thinking of what's his name? Who's the other one? Sartre.
Oh, it might have been Sartre. Actually, Jacques Cousteau does look a bit weird.
Do you remember the Red Dwarf one where they said Jean-Paul Sartre said hell is eternity with your friends, and they go well all his friends were French.
Is it Sartre? What was his name again?
Sartre.
Sartre. Let's try that.
Satre.
Yeah. Oh, did you mean Anna Raquel Sartre, 1925 to 2014?
Yeah, because that's the one Sartre that people want to talk about.
So the first one is a Uruguayan operatic soprano. Or did you mean Tully Sartre, born 1989? American
Craig Wilson
rights
said
activist
Marty
and gay
Feldman.
writer.
Craig Wilson's showing his age now.
Perhaps you meant Carl Magnus Sartre, 1907 to 1967.
Jean-Paul Sartre. It's fucking...
Nordic
Who else are you looking for when you Sartre? There's only one fucking Sartre, isn't there?
Perhaps you meant Paul Otto Sartre, an American Olympic Nordic skiing contest. So there's two Sartres that are Nordic skiing contestants.
Steve Buscemi.
There's also
Steve Buscemi's got the teeth, hasn't he? Marty, you know Marty Feldman is the Hobbit. You ever seen what's he from?
Sartre may also refer to Sartre, Etruscan god.
Yeah. So why has Jean-Paul Sartre been erased from history, Hobbit?
I don't know, but if I type in Jean-Paul Sartre, it comes up.
Yeah.
And oh God, I thought I was exaggerating with no, his eyes are more wonks than King Cobra JFS, and he's got the same fish lips as well.
Fucking hell, you wouldn't want to be sat next to him at dinner, would you? He'd be eating his dinner off your plate, wouldn't he? Fuck me.
Is this the great grandfather of King Cobra JFS? He died in 1980. He might have been his granddad. Fuck me. He's definitely got the wonk eye. Has he ever been
to paraphrase the Fortean gag? Jean-Paul Sartre's looking right and left.
Has he ever been to Wyoming?
Has he you ever fathered a child in Casper, Wyoming?
Oh God, he is the grandfather of King Cobra JFS. Sartre held an open relationship with prominent feminist and fellow existentialist philosopher Simone de Beauvoir. Did you know about Yeah, Simon was a proper wrong un. She ostensibly was doing abusing a bunch of children. I can't remember the story.
God of Pig, King of Dogs said, try searching the Austrian painter on Google.
I
thought Jean-Paul Sartre always wore berets and polo necks, or was that in his younger phase?
Yeah. So
those eyes are fucked up, aren't they?
They're really, really bad. So, yeah. Allegations of sexual abuse. Beauvoir was bisexual, and her relationships with young women were controversial. With the young women being prepubescent, that's not mentioned here. French author Bianca Lambin, originally Bianca Bienfeld, wrote in her book Memories d'une jeune fille dérangée. Oh yeah, it's a deranged girl. Published in English under the title A Disgraceful Affair, that while a student at the Lycée Molière, she was sexually exploited by a teacher.
I think Jean-Paul Sartre might be a right-wing fascist, racist, sexist, homophobe, because he said, rather than freedom giving you the ability to act without consequences, Sartre expects that a truly sincere person will essentially lead the world by example, setting the standard with their own life and how they think a person ought to be. That sounds like right-wing, fascist, evil, Nazi thinking, doesn't it?
Ableist bigotry there.
Yeah.
Which, considering how wonky he is, that's surprising. I mean, that's the guy which would have a blue badge if he ever drove, and I don't think he did.
He'd be alright looking round corners, wouldn't he?
Does he get into a staring contest?
He'd have a hell of a field of vision, wouldn't he?
Is he the sort of person that can win a staring competition with a comedian?
The more one is absorbed in fighting evil, the less one is tempted to place the good in question. That's because it's good. You fucking dumb
Right.
French
So
idiot.
in 1943, Beauvoir was suspended again. Oh, so she's already been suspended from teaching.
What, she was trying to touchy-feel old Sartre up, was she?
So she was suspended, right? So the first position she was suspended from, I can't bother reading it. Anyway, it's suspended again. When she was accused of seducing her 70-year-old lycée pupil Natalie Sorokin in 1939. Sorokin's parents laid formal charges against Beauvoir for debauching a minor. Now, bear in mind, a minor at that time in France was 13. And then in 1945, it changed to 15. So, you can't say, oh, well, she's 17 years old, but then they laid a charge of, well, you're debauching a minor. So, the only way that charge could have stuck is if the child was under 13 years old. So she was trying to seduce or debauch someone that's younger than 13 years old. So what's this thing about a 17-year-old, what the hell, Wikipedia? You are doing some very selective I'm not going to say lies. Don't Snopes me at Wikipedia. So anyway, yeah, she's basically Rose West. Right. Sorry. Now, can I do a Snopes?
I ain't quite finished it. Yeah, well.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, fuck me! Why did you put that picture of him there? Jesus, give a trigger warning at least.
King Sartre JFS.
I was trying to read the chat comments, but I was like, fuck me, I can't have that on the screen. Let me just put my hand in front of it and hopefully they just don't...
Jesus Christ. He'd be a good lookout, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Just to... Oh, right. Joan Rivers gets mentioned. The claim truly picked up steam in July 2014 when the late comedian Joan Rivers was recorded on the streets of New York City calling Barack Obama gay and using a slur against transgender people. In reference to Michelle Obama, we all know, Rivers said, supposedly in reference to Michelle Obama's alleged secret of being trans. No, actually, the we all know was that he was gay. They're misquoting her. A video clip of Rivers which quickly went viral despite the fact she provided no proof to substantiate the allegations other than the swinging penis in the Ellen video. Shortly after Rivers made the remarks, a representative released the following statement on CNN on behalf of Rivers. I think it's a compliment. She, Michelle Obama, so attractive, tall, with a beautiful body, great face, does great makeup. Take a look and go back to La Cage aux Follies. The most gorgeous women are transgender. Stop it already. And if you want to talk about politically correct, I think this is a politically incorrect attack on me because I'm old Jewish, a woman and a heterosexual, and I plan to sue the reporter who, when he turned off his camera, tried to touch me inappropriately on the ass. Luckily, he hit my ankle. Read the book. If you think that's silly, wait till you see and I say about FDR and Eleanor. I couldn't keep that voice up. Rivers died 2 months after the video surfaced online in September 2014.
Sorry. Just
Infowars founder Alex Jones chimed in to support Rivers' theories. He described Michelle Obama using a slur against trans people and said she had shoulders that are wider than a man's, which physiologically doesn't happen. Those comments from Jones, a prolific conspiracy theorist whose false claims about the 2012 Sandy Hook shooting, in particular, resulted in being ordered to pay 15 million billion trillion billion. But did I do enough billions on that?
Billion, brillion, million.
Gorillion. Helped power the rumour about Michelle Obama for years. In addition to celebrities and media provocateurs, some conservative politicians have helped push the theory to the mainstream audiences. For example, in 2016, McClatchy DC reported that a Republican state representative of Kentucky, Tim Couch, Can we talk about Americans' names? Like, their names are fucking weird, aren't they? Tim Couch.
Isn't
Like,
there one
what were his
called,
ancestors? Were his ancestors sofas or something? It's like if a Cooper, like your ancestor, was someone who made barrels, and Tim Couches, people just used to lay on them, didn't they?
Oh dear.
Promoted the notion of Michelle Obama being trans with posts on his Facebook page, including one with a link that cited Rivers' viral comments he did not return, that news publications request for comment. Surely if she was on CNN, that makes it true, doesn't it?
Yep.
The posts were later taken down. The Facebook account's profile name was changed to that of Couch's wife. Social media post... Oh, God, this just goes on. So blah blah. So specific rumours that fit within the phenomena. A variety of claims exist within the broader conspiracy theory of Michelle Obama being trans, such as the Obamas are supposedly not the real parents of the two daughters. Rivers was purportedly killed for revealing the truth about Barack being gay and Michelle being trans. Michelle Obama's birth name is Michael LaVaughn Robinson. Photos supposedly exist depicting that Michelle Obama as a man in her younger days married to Barack Obama. Reputable fact-checking organisations such as Snopes, PolitiFact, USA Today, Agence France Press, why are they getting involved? And Reuters have debunked all such prongs of the overarching... They haven't actually debunked any of it. What have Snopes said that debunks this?
Mostly true. False.
Mostly false. Mostly true, but mainly false. Obama's kids, blah, blah, blah. They're just repeating themselves now. Denouncing Barack and Michelle Obama as frauds or as two gay PDF files. Believers in this theory often cast Dr. Anita Blanchard and Martin Nesbitt, real long-time friends of the Obamas, as the alleged surrogates. Working as the former First Lady's Dr. Blanchard delivered both Sasha and Malia Obama. Promoters of the conspiracy theory say the lack of available public photos showing Michelle Obama pregnant. To be fair to that, I mean, some of it could be just that he appeared out of nowhere and he's an astroturfed candidate. I mean, it's like a lot of this stuff kind of covers over the fact that Barack Obama is like an astroturfed candidate that appeared out of fucking nowhere, really. Don't they?
Yeah.
They do the same with some... Wow, actually, that's what I was going to say about this thing. This is on Snopes. Harris can run for president even though her parents are foreign-born.
Yes.
Well, yeah, as long as she's born in the United States, right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's if you're born in the United States. Like we'll never get President Arnie.
President
Claim U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris cannot be president because her parents are not natural-born U.S. citizens or naturalized citizens at the time of birth. Rating false. The requirements
should be an anchor baby, wouldn't she?
Have nothing to do with the citizenship status of one's parents. The individual must have been born in the United States.
It does. It does, because that's what an anchor baby is. You have the baby, and then everything else becomes because that child's a citizen, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh well, that story's a bit boring, really, and it's snarky. The other story.
Did you know Alexa calls Michelle Obama Michael LaVaughn Robinson when prompted?
Right, I see. So someone just sent me a message saying they're making robots out of mushrooms at Cornell University, and I just wanted a bit more context than that. But anyway, there's this other article here. What's up with those bizarre retrain as a swan posters?
Oh, hold on. No, just one more. Barack Obama once slipped up and called Michelle Obama Michael in a public speech, they reckon, apparently.
And just
But the
keeps
former
doing it more
president
and
was quoting a letter from a Pennsylvania woman writing about her husband, Michael, and not talking about his own marriage. Well, of course.
Yeah. But hey, why don't they just say, oh, don't you know Michael Burnham's a girl's name now?
Oh, shit. Did you know Daniel Radcliffe's girlfriend, Erin Dark, gets pasted with the same brush that maybe a fella?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know this.
Not looking feminine enough has been a rod used to beat successful women throughout history. Still employed today. Michelle Obama, Lady Gaga, Simone Biles. I don't know who Simone Biles is. Caster Semenya. Do you remember that Caster Semenya, the athlete? Which quickly bleeds into homophobic rhetoric. How can it be homophobic rhetoric if they're not female? If they are female? Does anybody know that?
No.
I don't know.
No. No.
So either she is trans and it's homophobic, or she's not trans and it's not homophobic. She can't not be trans and it's homophobic. Whoops. I can't read it. I can't bother. On and on and on. But yeah, of course, Michelle Obama is definitely a woman. Big hands.
Yeah, and you're a bigot if she's stunning and brave.
Yeah.
And passes.
Harris is not campaigning with Nazi slogan "Strength through joy."
I'm just not going to read the chat whilst you've got that fucking Boglim's face on there.
Do you want me to remove? I'll remove John Paul Sartre if it offends thee.
It's seriously triggering. I mean, I'm expecting him to do some dank food hack any second time now.
Right, anyway, Hobbit, what was yours one? Sorry, I've been...
Yeah, so, swans. Why don't you retrain as a swan? Want a new challenge? Retrain as a swan. 2-day courses, no previous experience necessary. Full tuition in honking, gliding serenely, eating bits of bread, breaking a man's arm. Earn up to £40 working on one of Britain's illustrious waterways. Book online at sicknessjobsforyou.net. Actually, does that website work? Let me just have a look. And is that open? Oh, it's a real website. So you visit links and memes. I didn't create the meme, but I did notice the domain was free. And do I only speak me video or do I have no videos appears? Try going in Chrome. Oh, this webinar is Viz. What is this? This is not. Oh, anyway. Welcome to the webinar on how to be a swan. This should provide you with all the information you need to know to start a new career as the world's best water. Being a swan is actually very simple. Oh God, this this is actually a cool. All right, okay, I'm gonna have to give you this video. Do you want it in the Roblox thing or the furry one?
Do it in the Discord.
Right. So the furry one. I'll post it in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So being a swan is actually very simple. The video pertains to this, by the way. All you have to remember is the convenient acronym of ASBO, which stands for the 4 things you always have to do. First of all, it is important to always be aggressive. If people come too close, you must flap your wings, honk, and chase them. You may also do this.
Do you want me to play the video while you're reading this, then? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play it with the sound off. Does it?
You may also do this if... oh, what? Let me find my place again. I lost it.
Oh,
you may also do...
We need to do a warning for JMK because he gets triggered about swans.
Yeah, JMK, don't watch this. Just go, pause it on Satry's face. You may also do this even if they don't come close, as humans should know better than to get anywhere near a full-grown swan. Make yourself look big, make some noise, and chase those annoying tourists away. The second important thing when being a swan is to be serene. You may be looking forward to honking at the tourists and scaring them away, but you are still a gorgeous creature, worthy of a place in many of brave naturalist photographs. So be sure to swim around gracefully and get their attention, and let your natural avian beauty shine through. And maybe if you're lucky, some of your admirers will bring bread. That, of course, brings us to the next item, which is bread. If you're lucky enough to encounter a human or someone is willing to share, they're probably
You're
hoping to
reading
watch you
about
eat
the right pace. I think you're a little bit behind.
and perhaps take a picture of you once they have gotten your attention. Eating bread is probably something you'll find straightforward, but it's worth going over the process ahead of time to be sure. All you have to do is bend your neck downwards, grab the piece of bread in your beak, and then bring your head up again and look at the sky to swallow it. Be careful not to eat too much, because bread isn't good for swans, but a little bit is okay. The final item is, of course, honking. Now, other water birds can get away with just letting loose with whatever is on their minds at the moment, but you are a swan. You can do better than any old duck. The most important thing is to kick your feet as hard as you can and push yourself up out of the water so that everybody can see you. Then you also need to flap your wings around as if you were about to lift off, making yourself seem bigger and scary.
I've just got into dimensional lizards joke. He said, any relation to a daughter of Albion, he must be talking about John Paul Sartre.
Finally, you must open your beak as wide as it will go so that you can make as much noise as possible. Let them hear from your side of the pond. Maybe someone will come over and give you more bread. Now,
have you ever met anyone who even knows someone whose arm was actually broken by a swan? I think it sounds a bit like a lie, says God of Pig.
It's one of those things like people saying, oh, the worst thing in the world to step on is a UK mains plug. And I've never in my life stepped on one. And I've, wired up.
I've done that. I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah? My uncle said he's done it as well.
Oh, bonus lesson,
Maybe
how
I
to
just
become a
need
goose.
to... Yes. First, you'll need to acquire grey and black paint in sufficient quantities to cover the majority of your body. You may also want to acquire white paint to make some things easier, but you can usually use your natural white feathers for the white parts.
Frith says
Step
number
two
one
is-
rule of being a swan is to avoid Polish fishermen.
Step
I
two
thought
is to apply
it was the Romanians that ate swan.
I heard a story about these Romanian. They remained in prison. These Romanians.
Yeah.
And they enticed a pigeon to their cell window. Now, apparently, they only open up a little crack. So God knows what they did. Maybe they enticed it with some bread. Anyway, when it got close in, they caught it and they tried, no, without gutting it, they tried to boil it in the little kettles they give the prisoners.
Oh.
And apparently it stunk so bad that they opened up the cell to find out what was the cause of, they thought something was burning.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you're boiling a pigeon, shit and all, in a thing. So I think you're really a swan underneath. We also recommend you spend some time thinking about your song. After all, you only get one chance to perform it.
I know an anecdote. I know an anecdote about a goose, but I can't remember half of it, so it does lose a bit. But there's some guy was he was either in a foreign country or talking to a heavily foreign guy, and this foreign guy had a bad experience with this goose, and he said, "Beware of the cobra chicken."
Yes, cobra chicken. That I've heard you tell this story before. I forget the rest of it as well, but. So anyway,
who owns the swans now? Don wants to know.
The king.
Yeah.
So anyway, this poster has been posted loads of times. Let me just copy that link into the furry Discord server.
Oh shit! I found a Snopes one about the Australian breakdancer. I mean, that is Fortean, that breakdancing, isn't it?
Wait, what one? The AI video of it? Or...
The Australian.
If you mean, it made me want to cringe and close the video. That is very Fortean.
Critics contend that Rachel Gunn ran the Olympic qualifiers herself and installed her husband as a coach. This is false. This is false, apparently. I
The
mean, surely
text of
there's got to be some reason as to why she's how she got into the team.
Oh, so Snopes goes on to say,
Well,
however,
I mean, if no one else qualifies, right?
Was she the only one that went in for it? Let's have a look.
Maybe.
Let's see what it says then. According to some reports, Gunn scored 0 points on all her rounds. One judge said in a news conference they used a comparative judging system. While Gunn explained they had comparison percentages of scorings, the Olympics website noted Reagan received no votes from judges in all three of her events, thus did not advance past the first round. Numerous rumours flew alleging Gunn somehow rigged the Olympics section process to get in. Some of those alleged she and her husband were the founders of Australian Breaking Association, also referred to Oz Breaking. The group responsible for developing breaking hip hop, blah blah blah. One of the biggest sources of the rigging rumour was Change.org petition. There was a petition titled "Hold Reagan, Rachel Gunn, and Anna Mears, head of the Australian Olympic Mission, accountable for unethical conduct." Olympic.
I mean, look at the image I just posted. Hang on, I'm gonna edit it for you because this one's a bit shit.
Yeah.
And I'll take out the extraneous parts. But this is some exciting jobs for you. Now I'm going to post that back in the thing.
I'll just put the tweet. I'll just put the tweet up there.
No, do this one. This is the better one.
Okay then.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. There's aquatic foul opportunities in a road for you. Yeah.
Right. There we go.
So the successful candidate will have excellent floating skills, waterproof to feathers, experience of bobbing up and down on chilly canal systems, a red beak. Oh, speaking of which, I saw somebody grab a handful of duck feathers the other day, and they were submerging it in like an aquarium of water. And then as soon as they took it out, all the water just like came off of it. It was amazing. I thought it was amazing. I mean, I know there's that saying of water off a duck's back, but it truly is surprising, like seeing like surely it should be soaking, because other fabrics, when you submerge them into water, they get wet.
So it is the so back to the excellent breakdancer. The selection process for Australia's breaking team heading to Paris this is a statement from somebody, was conducted over 2 days and open to all interested participants within the Oceanic region. Adhering to World Dance Sport Federation regulations, which aligned with an International Olympic Committee standards, the process aimed to ensure a fair and transparent outcome. The Oceania Olympic selection event, the QMS 2023 WDSF Oceania Breaking Championships in October 2023, brought together the top breakers, both B girls and B boys.
Do you know of a pub called the Swan with Two Nicks?
No.
The Nick shows ownership of the Swan, like a cow brand.
I remember the bloke who took his duck to the pub and the duck had a fight with a dog and a pint, didn't it?
Yeah, I've read that story. It says, hang on, Hobbit, why do swans have nicks if they are owned by the king? I don't get it, God of Pin Pig a Dog.
The nick shows the... Oh, apparently... The swan with two nicks. The nick shows the ownership of the swan like a cow brand. Like a cattle brand.
I've never heard of this.
In this whole thing, they don't tell you how this incompetent got her place in the Olympic team. Like the whole fucking article, and they don't tell you how she got into the Olympic team.
Was it just like, hey, let's put this silly bint in the Olympics, then we can all have
well,
a laugh
as far as I can tell, she was the best out of 15 women who competed in the qualifying event.
God, I want to see like the one they thought was like the 15th worst.
It's just like so. It's pure comedy. It's like you can imagine it being like on what about the be they thems? Yeah, well, there no be they thems. It was just be boys and be girls.
B jams.
B jam, the B jams.
B jams.
Anyway, I thought you had a Snopes article you wanted to go.
Yeah, it was about swans.
Oh, okay then.
No, Fraser, you do one.
Done one.
Did you?
Well, yeah. But the Pakistani corpses, but are actually turned out to be Indian corpses.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
literally don't remember you saying anything about this.
This is false because it was Indian corpses being raped, not Pakistani ones.
Oh, you mean with the padlock on the grave?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Right. Oh, I was. We want another one.
Oh, cool. Somebody superimposed the Mediterranean Sea on the United
Trendy.
States.
It's just all. Oh, okay.
Oh, is that what that picture is? Is that the one?
Ah, that looks quite cool. So they've turned Wyoming into Italy. Man, that's so what's Malta going to
They're
be?
really
Is
going
that
hard
like-
on the 2024 election, aren't they, Snopes? Fucking hell.
Hey, Arizona, Malta is pretty sure that's where Tucson is in. Sorry, Tuscan.
Oh, this
Tucson.
sounds like damning with faint praise. So, authentic photo of Caribbean islands from space? ? This is from Snopes. The photo was shared to X on August 25th, 2024, claimed to show the Caribbean islands as seen from space. Taken recently. I mean, a lot of this stuff is in quotation marks, which is kind of weird. Excuse me. At the time of this publication, the photo received more than 96,000 views. Snopes traced the above image to one that NASA Johnson Space Center posted to Flickr in August 2024. Because the photo is genuine and authentically depicts the islands, we've rated this claim as true. Wouldn't you just... Is that kind of like, yeah, we're saying it is because NASA put it out. That's not saying we think this is a real image, is it?
No.
Well, if the image comes from the same people who do the surveys, then it's true, right?
That's what they say.
I'm sorry. I should be paying attention to what you guys are saying, but I'm fascinated with this map called Mediterranean Sea of America. So Wyoming is in fact Corsica and Sardinia. Kansas is Sicily, and Malta is Oklahoma Island. So Tennessee is Crete, and then what's Cyprus? Cyprus is... I can't make out what that word says. It's a bit low res, this image. And then there's the Great Salt Islands. So I assume that's Utah. But yeah. Damn, that looks really cool. Why can't they just like be a Mediterranean Sea of the United States? And I don't know.
No, Charlie Kirk didn't accidentally reveal Grindr on phone while complaining of gay agenda.
What? No, this is officially false. So you know it's true.
Yeah.
The screenshot in Kirk's purported X post displayed two installed apps: Grindr, the LGBTQIA+++. We know what plus stands for, but we're not going to say it. Dating app, and Bark, the app for furries by furries. What the fuck? Rumours circulating online in August 2024 in the form of a screenshot of an X post claimed Turning Point USA founder and president Charlie Kirk accidentally revealed the LGBTQ plus blah blah. Yeah. Dating app Grindr was installed on his phone along with for furries by furries social app named Bark, B-A-R-Q. In the same post, Kirk...
Out the limelight since he went and had that facial reconstruction surgery.
Yeah, I think they've given him a full-size face now, haven't they? I think. In the same post, Kirk supposedly drew a comparison between the LGBTQ... Oh, fucking hell, how many more times do I have to say that?
That's paedophile, by the way.
Yeah, and the colours of an iPhone storage space chart, supposedly writing, "Want to check my phone storage?" and saw the woke gay agenda is live and well. Is anyone surprised? However, the post was completely fake and apparently intended as a pointed joke. Kirk never made any such post, which means he did, doesn't it, Hobbit?
I am sad now.
What do you think about this Waltz guy? Yeah, fucking.
Oh, what, we're doing blackface? Do you want to do?
No. Unpacking the claim that Waltz recruited young boys into gay club at school.
Oh, God, then do that one.
While serving as a teacher and football coach at Mankato West High School, Democratic Vice Presidential candidate Tim Walz was the faculty advisor to a gay-straight alliance club founded in 1999. Okay, in August 2024, the managing editor of the Christian satire website, the Babylon Bee, Joel Berry, used that fact to claim in an X post that Tim Walz recruited young boys into the gay club at school. Via X, Snopes asked Berry whether he was making a satirical point of some kind by describing Walt's involvement with a club dedicated to bringing straight and gay students together to fight homophobia in that way. He said he was not. Some might argue my characterization of Tim Waltz is Berry speaking. Involvement in a GSA was crass, but it isn't untrue. Berry responded, one of the job descriptions of a GSA leader is the recruitment of kids into the club. To make this point, Berry provided Snopes with, among other things, a document and video for GSA advisors with tips for increasing turnout, including provide food at your meeting. It's important to give people something to look forward to at every meeting. Snopes asked whether Berry was implying that Walz used the club to groom boys for sexual abuse, or that Walz himself was a sexual predator. I'm not accusing Walz of being a sexual predator. He said, but I am accusing him of propping up a system that enables and encourages predation of children. Given the heated rhetoric, this piece takes a closer look at what Walz actually did during his time as a faculty advisor to a small town high school GSA. I don't even know what GSA.
Gay Straight Alliance.
Okay, right. The Maneka West High School Gay Straight Alliance formed thanks to the efforts of one student, Jacob, who had been bullied for participation. Bullied for the perception that he was gay. Despite significant abuse, he wanted to come out as such before going to college, and asked the school if he could create a gay straight alliance, as reported by the New York Times in that. Right, okay, so the guy wanted to be gay.
Gay.
So everyone called him gay. He was gay, and
who says I am
like,
gay?
yeah, okay, I'm gay.
You
are. But they're picking on me for being gay, even though I am gay.
Yeah, he created a safe space, not to be called gay. Right? Okay.
But not gay.
Okay. What's his boyfriend's over to?
Taunts and threats accused as rumor of Jacob's sexual orientation swirled around his southern Minnesota high school during his senior year in 1999.
Who's this AMG?
Someone chalked a slur on his driveway in giant letters.
Why are you gay, Waltz? Stop being gay.
You're not be gay.
So
do you eat the poo-poo?
Will be better off dead.
Hey, so
Hobbit, I'm gonna confuse the hell out of you now. Putin once took a dog to a meeting with Angela Merkel. What do you think, true or false?
True. Also,
it is
because
true.
I saw that.
It is true. Right. Snopes have said it's true, though, Hobbit.
Right,
what's your opinion of the event now?
You know what? I'm doubting whether he did that thing. Because he took a dog out to see some Chinese diplomats. The reason I want to say about Waltz and that is, you know how Fidel Castro's son, Justin Trudeau, I was trying to think of his name. You know how he's gay and he does blackface? So Tim Waltz, gay and does blackface. Is this like a thing?
Must be.
You know, yeah, like be gay, do blackface.
Well, it's because Democrats are the real racists, and that is 100% true.
And but that's but they're racist, but not in a fun way. I want Uncle Ruckus racism.
How about what about the rumor that Tim Waltz signed a law that requires schools to stock tampons in boys' bathrooms?
Yeah, I'm going to say that's true.
Yeah, no, this isn't actually refuting any of the claim, like any of this thing. It's just
well, it's mostly false. How can it be mostly false? It's either true or it's not.
It's just about he just created a safe space, supposedly.
So, Tim Waltz signed a
Yeah.
law in 2023 that required Minnesota schools to stock free menstrual students for grades 4 through 12. The language of the statute was gender neutral and therefore compelled schools to make menstrual products available to all menstruating students, including transmasculine.
What?
I don't know.
Are you saying ugly
Masculine
women?
Yeah, and may be able to obtain them
Are
in
you
place.
talking about
So
bearded ladies?
Snopes are saying it's mostly false because you see, it wasn't actually in the bathrooms.
I'm a woman.
It's ma'am. I'll show you ma'am in a minute.
Step outside and I'll show you how much of a woman I really am. I'm gonna
That
beat
Waltz
your
guy's great
ass.
rock band.
What
Yeah,
else?
Snopes is going hard for this fucking election thing. Jesus.
Are you telling me it's a politically motivated website?
Yep.
But what does Snopes have to say about that?
Okay. Look at this. So, did the Ukraine ban Orthodox Church in August 2024, Hobbit?
Yes, they did.
It's a
And they
mixture.
also-
So, what
A
did they
mixture.
did they ban it or did they not ban it?
When they say mixture, do they mean this article is so true there's no way we can spin it?
So
But we're
what's
gonna try.
true?
Okay.
What's true? On August 20th, 2024, Ukrainian Parliament passed through Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has not yet signed as of this writing. That's a qualifier and a half, isn't it? Legislation that would allow the government to ban the Russian-linked Ukrainian Orthodox Church. However, what's false? The law does not pertain to the Orthodox Church of Ukraine splitters, to which the majority of Ukrainian Christians belong. So the Judean People's Front is banned, but not the People's Front of Judea.
Oh, well, that's reassuring to know.
Now, which one of those two churches is the gayest? Can answers on the postcard.
Yeah.
Which one do you think's getting banned?
Which is the one that posts those ridiculous dog memes everywhere? Because,
What dog
you know,
names?
oh, they just post these stupid, like, they call them NAFO, and they've got dogs dressed up in soldier uniforms, and they keep talking about NAFO fellas, and I think they're all dead now. Maybe that's why they don't post anymore.
Free abortions,
wasn't it like
vasectomies offered in Chicago during the 2024 DNC.
Tranny, and then, like, the tranny was sent to the front lines and didn't kill itself. It was
So
killed.
how about this? So Hobbit, free abortions, vasectomies offered in Chicago during 2024 DNC. Is this true or is it false?
Mixture?
Mixture, which means it's true, but we can't admit
Yeah.
it. What's true?
Oh,
Planned
okay.
Parenthood announced it would send 2 mobile health clinics to provide vasectomies and medication. How's that health clinic? A medication-based abortion service. How is this health? How is that health, Hobbit?
They're just not allowed to call it the Moloch worship shrine where they sacrifice.
But what's
babies.
false? The activities
done.
would not take place on the site of the convention itself, but rather at 2 locations relatively close to the site. So it is. So it is true. Then it's true.
Is that like when they're saying it's against the law for Jews to be out on a Saturday, but they've got this bit of clothesline between the buildings, so they're not technically outside?
Yeah.
Is that a mixture? So, how about this one, right? This is by Caroline Wazer, and the claim is medieval peasants worked only 150 days a year due to religious holidays.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
And the rating is mixture. What's true?
So mixture means true.
Yes.
it seems to.
Actually, many mainstream.
Mixture means true, but we don't agree with it.
Mixture means this is dangerous to mortgages and compounding interest, so shut it down.
Many mainstream economic historians do believe the average number of working days for peasant labourers in England hovered around as even sometimes below.
What, below 150 days per year?
For certain stretches of the medieval period, particularly the decades following
But then
the
they say
Black
later on
Death.
it's 250. It's like fucking make him pick a lane, dude.
What's false, however, other economists and economic historians believe medieval labourers had a significantly longer working year, averaging around 250 or more days. So they still get more than 28 days off, then,
Yeah.
is what they say.
Here's a good one. Al Capone is reason we have food expiration dates.
Just a second.
Oh, go on.
So in other words, like, actually, Chad, you're wrong. They didn't get more holidays than us. It's only 100 days off a year.
Yeah.
What's more, 28 or 100? And also, who could afford a house? A medieval peasant or me? So, significantly, 250. Either way, economic historians generally do not believe religious authorities had a significant control over the total number of days per year.
So they're
peasants work.
quibbling. They're quibbling over who's in charge of it, basically.
Instead, economic historians generally believe the number of days worked a year was determined by a mixture of factors, including the amount of wage-based work available and labourers' own desire to work.
Weren't they kind of self-employed though?
Well, that's fucking bullshit, though. Like, look, if you ask any labourer how many days a year would you like to work, and if you find one that says more than one, you found a Protestant that's in America and going, I work 100 hours a day because I...
Yeah, but the point is, Hobbit, it weren't like you went down the job centre and got yourself a job, was it? Like, surely, like most of them was pretty much self-employed, weren't they? Because they were running their own farms and running their own farms, or they were like renting a farm off someone, weren't they?
After the Black Death, there were a lot more yeomanry because you were no longer tied to the land and you could set your own price.
Yeah.
But the idea of like, oh, actually, labourers' own desire to work, it's just like, well, look, I'm pretty sure if you ask most people how many days a week, how many days a year would they like to work, and they're saying, well, if I could work one day a year and still have enough to pay for all the bills, then I'll do that.
Yeah.
The fact is, labourers just went, well, look, I could work more than 150 days a year, but it pays for everything I need and everything I want. So I'm good, thanks. I'm just going to take the rest of the year off.
Yeah.
So again, it's just even when they're lying, they're telling the truth. It's like when your lies are so convoluted, they actually twist round back to the truth.
Maybe you should stop. Just stop.
Look, I don't think these journalists, these verified Snopes journalists, have figured out like sometimes it'd actually serve you better just to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Stop lying all the damn time.
So,
please.
Is Al Capone the reason we have food expiration dates?
Well, I heard there was that thing about milk.
Al Capone lobbied for and ultimately helped establish expiration dates for food after his sister fell ill. Unproven, which means it's probably true, but they don't want to admit it.
Yeah. I heard it was his brother died from drinking contaminated milk, and for some reason his brother was too stupid to give it a sniff.
Well, apparently we know that most major food labelling requirements occurred in the decades following Capone's death, which means he could have got it underway because the wheels turn very fucking slowly, don't they?
Yeah, and also he did despite the violence and the killing people, he also did a lot of innovations which benefited a lot of people.
He was very efficient with his tax, weren't he?
Very, very, very efficient. The other thing, now apparently I didn't know this, right? But did you know honey's got no expiration date? So if you're buying honey and it's got a best before end, you've not got honey. And this might be true in America, but
but you don't know. You don't have best before anymore, do you? It's no, you have best before. Yeah, best before is not food expiration though, is it? They changed all this. There used to be expiry dates, but they're not anymore. They're best before. So best before just means when the product's at its best.
Right. So the thing is, with honey, there's no expiration date because they found 3,000-year-old honey in Pharaoh's tomb. It's still edible, but If you've got a best before date,
is it as good as fresh honey? Is the point I'm making. So that's why they've changed it to best before, so they can shorten the dates.
it's probably just crystallised. That's all. That's the thing. Honey doesn't actually go bad.
How do you uncrystallise it then?
Well, you can heat it up in a bain marie or microwave.
Yeah.
But
that's why they've been changed to best before dates. They're not expiry dates anymore. They're best before dates. As Interdimensional says, they even have display until.
Hear me out. The reason, if you see honey, which has got best before on it, what you've got there
Guy Fawkes says, Hobbit, he says the blokes who built the pyramids in Egypt were self-employed. If they didn't graft, they didn't get paid.
Anyway, if you see an expiration date on it, what you've got there is honey mixed with sugar syrup. Because apparently sugar syrup goes off.
Well, honey kills all bacteria except for botulinum, which is desiccated.
Yeah, and that's why they say don't feed honey to babies.
Yeah.
Because apparently adults can survive botulism, but babies can't.
So do you want me to carry on with this?
John says, it's honey. Best before 2027. And it says, all pure honey will granulate, become solid. This is a sign of quality. It can't be restored to a clear liquid state it can be restored by gently heating the jar in warm water until clear. You may have honey with sugar syrup in it, John. We know somebody called John. Yeah.
So aside from anecdotal evidence, Snopes was unable to find any, because obviously Snopes is a government organisation.
Have you ever seen an expiration date or a best before on salt?
I should think they do. That'll be best before it all goes lumpy.
I've seen that before on salt, like this idea that it was a meme. Like,
aren't canned goods supposed to be like infinitely edible? Are they?
No, so long as nothing gets into. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? So this was back in 2000. I found a jar of lychees which had apparently expired in 1971, and this was in my nan's cellar. And I said to her, "Can we have the lychees?" She said, "Oh yeah, well we should have had them decades ago." I like the idea. So they moved into the new house in 1994, carried all the lychees, didn't think to open or eat them. So anyway, in 2000, I said to my dad, and he says, "Do you think we should risk it?" And I said, "Well, I like lychees. If they're bad, then we'll throw them away." So we had them. Expired 1971. They're delicious. Nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, because it's all to do with how they're canned and jarred and things like that, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Sugar syrup. I just like the idea that you got some salt. It's been in the ground for millions of years, if not billions. Somebody puts it on the shelf in the supermarket and says, "Better eat this within the next 2 years."
Well, water actually goes off, doesn't it? Oh, some of the cans corrode depending on the quality of the can. So yeah,
it doesn't go off.
But it's still whether the inside of the can's all right, isn't it? That's the problem, isn't it?
Somebody's just said, "How could water that's been filtered through mountains for millions of years have a use-by date?"
That's because oh shit, is it the UV affecting chemicals in the water or something, isn't it?
Well, the plastic. It's in a plastic bottle. That's what's fucking it up. Yeah. But the thing that really fucks me off with that is, so my grandparents and now my godmother have bought into the scam of hard water as being good for you. Bullshit. Absolutely fucking bollocks. And she says, "Oh, I really like this water because it's high in magnesium." And it's like, you do realise if you just ate a bit of cheese or nuts, you get far more magnesium.
This is quite interesting. The second version of the rumour about Capone is that he supposedly controlled equivalent equipment previously used to mark alcohol bottles during Prohibition, and if use-by dates became the norm, he was in a position to make profit off of related regulation.
So, they'll set up. Oh, by the way, my relatives, they believe that distilled water is deadly poisonous, and so much as one drop touches your tongue, you'll expire violently. I point out to them I've been drinking it for years.
Is it because they associate it with batteries? Because you used to top your battery up with distilled water. Is that where the links coming in?
My dad and my friend said that not to drink deionized water because it's in Germany. It's distilled in industrial estates where often they'll have benzene.
They won't have. It won't be packaged to food regulations, will it?
Well, they'll say with the deionized water, it's well, no, they call it lab grade because technically you're not supposed to have distilled water for food use, even though people do use it for like making syrups and alcohol drinks. But anyway, apparently you shouldn't get the deionized water because it's demineralized, so it's safe for your batteries and irons.
Frith is saying apparently aluminium cans leak into the food.
Yeah, they do. That's why they have a plastic liner on them. That's why tins don't taste good as bottles. Now, back to the distilled water. The deionized stuff, they do it in industrial estates. It'll have traces of benzene in it. So it's not lab grade, it's not food grade, but it is good enough for your batteries. Anyway, my distilled water, it's fine. The thing about it is it's a hypertonic solution, so it leaches minerals from your body. Now, the thing is, every time I don't know about you, but every time I have a glass of water, I like to have some food as well. And occasionally I have like a pint when I wake up, but eventually, at some point on that day, I'm going to have food. So all the minerals I need, they get replenished with the food. Anyway, point of this was hard water on it. So I was reading the blurb on how great magnesium is for you and all that. And you know what, you do need magnesium. So I'm not bad-mouthing minerals, but it was saying it is very important, because bear in mind this is French, that you must drink 1.5 liters of
speaking of French, Robert, you need to do this one because there's a bit of French in it.
I will do. But anyway, the brand of this water is called Contrex, and it's fucking shit, and it's terrible. Like, if you're in France or Belgium and you need to buy some bottled water,
Palestinians drink deionized water, or is that a joke?
Look, seriously, there's nothing wrong with drinking distilled water.
No, deionized, Dom says.
Deionized is another name for distilled.
Oh, deionized water.
Oh.
Right, I see.
I knew I was reading that wrong. Deionized water.
Yeah.
Dom.
Boom, boom! Basil Brush is very funny. So anyway, what's this article I'm reading?
That bar stands for bar and alcohol room.
Beer and room. So this is also by Caroline Wazer. Rating is false.
Does that mean it's
true?
Actually, I'm confused. How do we work out?
Right, I'm going to sound a bit Reddit here, but acronyms, like where you make a word from letters, that didn't happen. It didn't happen before World War II. Like, one of the first acronyms to ever come up was radar, because it's radio.
Well, stuff like posh isn't laser an acronym as well?
Yeah, but that came out in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Let me just
isn't posh supposed to be an acronym of port out start
yeah,
with
but
home?
that's why it's bollocks, because it happened before radar. So let me just find out what radar stands for. Radar. Come on, I know what radar is. I want
golf
to know.
Supposed to be an acronym as well.
No, look, all these things like fuck means for unlawful carnal knowledge. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just
it's Anglo-Saxon, and it fuck isn't it?
Yeah, but it's all bollocks. Like, all these people like retconning these words to actually say,
idiots on TikTok, isn't it? Like, TikTok is just mind rotting, isn't it?
Yeah, but fuck and posh and stuff like that. People were talking about this stuff in the 90s, and it's none of it's true. Oh, and by the way, Wikipedia won't tell me what radar stands for, so fuck you, Wikipedia. I hope
Yeah,
you
no,
fucking
you're not
die.
having your fucking £2. Die out.
No. Go and like be bankrupt from like now Ghislaine Maxwell's not moderating it anymore.
Was she? Is that true?
She was like one of the top moderators, like an average of I think it was 2 edits every minute, 24 hours a day.
Was she desperately scrubbing out all the fucking Jeffrey Epstein references?
I forget the name of like the Wikipedia. She was like editing everything. Like she probably was just like recent changes and just like going on it every single article. I mean, I would actually have used that as her defence in the trial and just say, Your Honour, I can't possibly have been trafficking these children to no one because I was on Wikipedia 24 hours a day
and also, Your Honour, who must? Why was their defence not? Okay, then who did I traffic them to?
I am not guilty of trafficking children to no one because I was on Wikipedia
because you can't traffic people to no one. Either give me a name or fuck off. That's what you should have.
Anyway, 24 hours a day, 2 edits every minute, Your Honour.
Yeah.
How does a human being do that?
And nobody.
So anyway,
and trafficked to nobody. That's
yeah. Yes, traffic to nobody.
Yeah.
To Wikipedia edits every fucking minute.
Yeah.
For years, a claim has circulated on social media
Your Honour,
that the word bar originated as an acronym for beer and alcohol room. Oh, what? So beer and alcohol?
It does.
Already.
What's the? I'm going to have a look, see if I can find out.
The acronym of that already annoys me. Like beer and alcohol room. What? So you're saying beer is not alcohol? Fuck you. So an Instagram user posted a meme reading, "How old are you when you realise that bar stands for beer and alcohol room, dickhead?" This example of the claim Snopes have been able to identify as posted on X on the it's called Twitter back then. So it's the 14th of December 2018. The content of that post was almost identical to the above meme reading, "How old were you when you learned bar stood for beer and alcohol room?" It's got an ampersand, and it's from an account called Today Years Old, which is a horrid Reddit meme term, and anyone that uses it.
I found the etymology of the word bar, so I'll properly Snopes it in a minute.
Yeah. So anyway, you should be properly flogged, like publicly in public, flogged. If you use a term like "today is old," well, that just happened.
Yeah.
Problematic. Flogging.
Well, that just happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, that's the thing. After you get like 50 lashes, then you can say, "Well, it just happened," and then you can be sentenced to death. Since then, the claim has been posted numerous times in text, meme, and video form on various.
And if you write a story that starts with a record scratch, you're probably wondering how I got here.
Yeah, ground with a millstone around your neck. No appeal. So,
what other horrible film openings should people have capital punishment for then?
Anybody beyond the age of 6 that watches Pixar movies. So since the claim has been posted numerous times in text, I think she's been paid by the word.
I don't know. I don't think anybody under the age of 20 should watch Up. I mean, Jesus, that's fucking depressing. That film is.
She goes on to a long list of like social medias,
Shit
which
that never happened.
And there's even like
phrase.
There's even like links to the social media as well. Maybe it's like some sort of like these link referrals will give her money.
Yeah.
In addition, and then it ends with "and other social media sites." In addition to English language posts, the claim about the etymology of the word bar also spread widely in other languages. In fact, the post with the highest engagement numbers in Snopes has been able to identify as written in French. That post, which was made on the 13th of June 2020, and as of right here received around 1,200 reposts and 5,500 likes, read, "C'est quand que vous oh, hang on, let's try again. C'est quand que vous avez c'est que le mot bar signifiait beer and alcohol room. C'est quand que si vous avez le mot bar." Sorry, just like, this is written in French, but it's written by somebody who is, let's say, from Cameroon. Hello, mon nom c'est Patty, du peu au bizarre,
Is that
du
not proper
léger
French then? Is it pidgin French? Is it?
I am saying, welcome, I am as French as you are. And for some reason, he's got like the Factorio cog in his name, but no posts about Factorio or any other automation games. Like, he's doing this thing saying, like, La perte étoise et l'île s'envers Jenny à Maldives, c'est juste irréel. So he's saying, oh, isn't it amazing, this beach on the Maldives? It's got that photoluminescent algae, which is frankly amazing. And then he's got the Milky Way in the sky above, and the photograph of it, the bioluminescent surf and the galaxy imprint. By the way, galaxy, that's just Greek for Milky Way. It's one of those, what's the word I'm looking for? Retcons. So anyway, back to the thing. In other words, the post was nearly direct translation of the phrasing used in many English language posts. Similar posts have been made in... and then it goes on to list a bunch of languages, because I'm paid by the fucking word. Well, I'm not reading out all your guff. Caroline Ways.
This what maybe...
Hang on.
I'll say maybe because it's on the internet. So this may be the etymology of it. Oh, you're not done yet?
Okay. Yeah. Despite its seemingly global spread, the claim was not correct. The English word bar did not originate as an acronym for beer and alcohol room. Instead, I'm told, again, radar was the first acronym. Instead, multiple etymological dictionaries have confirmed the word bar in the sense Merriam-Webster, fuck you, defines a room or establishment where alcoholic drinks and sometimes food is served.
No, that's explaining what a bar is. That's not that's not the etymology of the word bar. That's what is a bar.
This is why journalists need, like, is there just like some sort of thing? If your IQ's less than 70, then you can be a journalist. Is there like
to paraphrase Dave Lister? How did you become a journalist? It's simple. I failed all my exams and applied. They snapped me up.
Yeah, that's it. So it has the same etymological origin as the prime meaning of the English word bar, namely a solid piece or block of material that is longer than it is wide.
No.
Again, that's not
Longer
etymology.
Than it is wide.
That's these are not. Yeah, but like Caroline Wazer, a journalist.
Caroline Wanker, more like.
Caroline Tay-Sachs. Seriously, this is not etymology. Is word law. It's explaining the origin of words and where they come from. All you've just done is go for descriptions. Descriptions are not etymology, and I'm really fucking pissed off with you. Fuck you, Caroline Wazer. I hope your Tay-Sachs kills you. Oh, hang on, we're not supposed to say that, are we? Yeah. I hope they find a cure for Tay-Sachs.
Yeah.
Namely, as noted by the Online Etymology Dictionary as well as the Oxford English Dictionary. And then it goes and lists more fucking dictionaries paid by the word. The word bar came into English in the 12th century by way of Old French for bar. A bar just means a bar. All three dictionaries note that the first known English use of the word bar to mean a tavern or drinking establishment occurred in the 1590s and specifically
but
referred
it's still
to
wrong.
the
That's
barrier.
later on. So the etymology is this. The etymology of the word bar can be traced back to Old English and Old French. In Old English, the word it's bearu, beru, which is referred to a grove or fenced-in area. This eventually evolved into Middle English bar, which had multiple meanings, including a barrier or wooden gate. The word then entered Old French as bar, B-A-R-R-E, and then kept its meaning of barrier or gate. So it's.
I'm just curious about, because you mentioned the Old English bear. I assume it's got nothing to do with bureau.
Yeah. Could
Which
be.
to this day I cannot spell. There's like numerous times I've wanted to spell the word bureaucrat and bureaucracy, and I can't write bureau. I don't know what it is
Don't
about
you find it's
bureau.
weird that both bar and bureau both have more than one meaning? Like a bureau is an organisation, isn't it? Whereas bar can be like a metal bar, or it could be the bar association, or a bar where you go get a beer. But bureau can be like an organisation, like you have the Federal Bureau of Investigations, or you have a bureau in your living room, don't you?
Well, bureau is just a French term for office.
Mm. So there we go. Yeah, Snopes, learn to fucking code.
Oh,
Because Jesus, you got no fucking idea. Tug of War was featured at Summer Olympics from 1900 to 1920.
Now that's a much better. Like, why can't we have Olympics in?
breakdancing. Fuck my life. Yeah.
True.
But the problem is, like tug of war. You know, there's certain like the Koreans and the Indians are not going to be winning any medals in tug of war. Not when you got the Icelandic team, or you got the English team, and it's just like a line of Barry Stansons.
Yeah, you've just got what's his name at the end? He's the big guy.
Giant Haystacks, Big Daddy.
No, the big weightlifting guy. God, lives in Stoke.
Oh, yeah, the one who's pansexual.
Yeah.
You remember we did that thing about pansexuality? Eddie Hall, that's
Eddie Hall, yeah. So the woman, just the Eddie Hall on the end of the rope. Because you know there's the guy at the back who can wrap the rope around him, can't you? Just Eddie Hall on the back of
the
it.
anchor.
Yeah.
Hey, out of curiosity, why are they like, you know, the world's strongest men? Why isn't any of them from India? I'm not
too busy sitting on their head.
I'm not drunk, by the way.
The water in Europe gives them a bad stomach.
Oh.
I just thought I'd slip that one in.
Oh. Well, it's nearly 10 o'clock. We've been going for ages.
No, it's fucking nearly 9 o'clock on it. You're an hour in front. You're still on fucking Belgian time.
Right, okay. Look, long story short, I installed Windows when I was over in the continent, and it was just like, hey, you're using continental time. And it's like, oh, wow, it's so cool being in the future. But it turns out whenever I try and get like the lottery numbers back in time, it doesn't.
Did you know the 1920 Summer Olympics was in Belgium?
No.
And England beat the USA in tug of war. Yes, get in.
Nice. But I've got a confession to make.
What?
Don't care.
You don't care?
I don't find it interesting at all.
What?
I think it's very.
What, tug of war at the thing?
Yeah. Break dancing and Olympic twerking. I don't think is.
Oh no, not that. I'm talking about tug of war. We won the tug of war. We won the last ever tug of war at the Olympics.
Yeah, you know that's cool. And that's why they had to ban it, because there's like, we can't give more medals to the English. We'll have to ban it and replace it with dressage.
Yeah. Well, we can't do that because our naughty women fucking go beating the horses, don't they?
Dom Alfkicker says, I wouldn't be surprised if they put soggy biscuit in the Olympics.
Oh, Rim.
You dirty old man.
I mean, you know, it's what's yeah. I never thought breakdancing ever would be a sport, but yeah, okay.
It's not a sport.
I know it isn't a sport, but it's at the fucking Olympics, isn't it?
Look.
So anything's fucking fair game now.
Yeah, but jerking around like you've just been tased is not a sport. Like, you know,
maybe that should be a sport, getting tased and see how long you can go for. You know.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way to measure like who is the best at like breakdancing. And you got judges. All the judges are doing is just going like, where I'm gonna. It's like the Great British Bake Off or something, you know. You got someone eating the food and then spitting out and going like.
Oh yeah, why haven't you got like eating competition as an Olympic sport yet? Like.
Yeah.
Any hot dogs.
Well, the thing is, I actually right now. I'm not saying this just to be like, you know, controversial.
What the fuck?
But
have you heard this one? Bill Gates and Ghislaine Maxwell are related.
Yeah. So anyway, competitive eating, that is
You're
more
not
a
bothered
sport.
about that one at all. It's false.
So anyway, so competitive eating is more of a sport than breakdancing, because guess what? It turns out you can measure who ate all the pies. You can't. It's like, oh, well done. You managed to like look like a kangaroo, except if a kangaroo looked like a complete and utter twat. I mean, maybe you're sort of like going like, well, you made the most people in the world laugh, so therefore you win. So anyway, just a Maxwell, Bill Gates related. Yeah, they both did all kids. That's their relation.
Well, the rumor is it's false, obviously, but online posts have long alleged that the tech magnate's mother was the sister of Maxwell's father, owing to the last shared name Maxwell.
Do you want to know something that is interesting about Bill Gates? Do you want to know what his father did as a job?
Rounding up black people.
No. Oh, well, actually, yes. No. Aborting the black people before they were born. He was the head of Planned Parenthood.
Ah, wonder where Bill Gates gets it from.
Yes, he's interested in
depopulation.
Yeah. But yeah, so
far from the true, yeah.
Oh, and the other thing as well, like they spun off Microsoft from IBM because they're like, well, it's going to look like monopolistic practices if Microsoft do this, so we'll just pretend they're a different company. When really, Microsoft is IBM, by the way. It's the same as Google being In-Q-Tel being the CIA subsidiary which spins off into civilian
No, because I've seen that film about it, and Bill Gates just robbed their ideas.
Yeah.
So anyway, In-Q-Tel is CIA, so CIA is Google.
Do you want to know the longest nose record is held by 18th century man at 7.5 inches?
Holy shit!
What is that? The Elephant Man?
It's true.
Wow.
Historical accounts report that Thomas Wedders, or Wadhouse, had a nose that measured 7.5 inches long. Although Guinness World Records was unable to verify this because his existence predates the camera.
I think that like the man, I say man because the largest honker in the world belongs to a man. It's some Turkish bloke.
Yeah, but he's like the longest. So he's the longest. He'd be the longest verified, but apparently this guy's had the biggest nose unverified.
Are we talking about a nose that goes straight out, or are we talking a one that like drips down? Like,
I'll
what
show
kind
you
of nose
the.
was it?
It's just got to be measured from base to extremity, isn't it?
Tip. Well, it'd be from base to tip, wouldn't it?
Just the tip, yeah.
Just the tip. So here's an artist's rendition of what Thomas Wedders looked like.
Did you hear about the motel who didn't charge for circumcision? He just kept the tips.
Oh.
Well, and kept him in his shop on Summer Oil.
And sucked all the blood from the baby penis, as is tradition. That's not child abuse, by the way.
Which page in the Torah tells you that?
I think it's in the Talmud.
Oh.
Harris's 2017 remark, "We have to stay woke," has been stripped of its context. So she actually said, we have to stay woke. Yeah, right. Is that what she said? Like, unless she said that, it's like the context is there, isn't it?
Did she say we have to stay woke? Just kidding.
Yeah. Unless she said just kidding afterwards, then she said we have to stay woke. So what's the context? Oh, correct.
Oh, all right.
Let's see what the correct.
Okay.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about it if you're the wokest or woker, but just more woke than less woke. I love her.
Really want a president that speaks like a teenage girl.
Yeah, awful.
We have
just
to like stay
awful
woke
speeches.
and such, perchance, per se. TikTok.
We are in unprecedented times, and these times are unprecedented, and you need times because you need time, and time needs to go forward. And this is unprecedented. That's pretty much one of her speeches, isn't it?
I need to find this. I think it's like Miss Oklahoma. She has like a speech about the children or stuff. So, let's see if I can find it.
Harris's speeches are pretty Fortean because I don't know. Are they some sort of code to someone?
Oh, I found it. It's South Carolina. Yes, right. It's 48 seconds long.
Hobbit,
This is
Hobbit, I've got one more, Kamala.
No,
yes,
Hemming,
Kamala Harris
Hemming.
once said, cloud storage exists above us, not in a physical place.
I've seen that. Right. So the clip I've got here is from Miss Teen USA 2007. South Carolina answers a question. She is more coherent and lucid than whatever that fucking bint you're just quoting said.
There we go.
Okay. Recent polls have shown
This
a
is
fifth of
great.
Americans
This is
can't locate the U.S. on a
absolute
world
key.
map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans
She's fit.
are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. Or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future for our.
And that woman grew up to be Kamala Harris.
No, Kamala Harris wishes she was half the public speaker of Miss Teen South Carolina
And the
2007.
American education system, fucking hell.
But it's like at the time we're taking the piss out of her for how like batshit stupid she was. But it just like we are living in idiocracy.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting it because we're immersed in it every single day. But
Oh, I've
the
got Kamala
retard
Harris's
version,
time speech.
By the way, Ricky Berwick
Passage of
gave
time.
me-
This one. You ever heard this one?
I
12
have
minutes
the
now after the
retard-
hour. Every time you see Kamala Harris speak, you wonder, can things get worse? The answer continues to be yes. She seems totally out of her depth in almost every other issue, especially when she has to ad-lib and talk from the heart or extemporaneously about the issues she should have thoroughly digested. This on the heels of news that she lost her 10th staffer who thought, there's got to be something better for me to do.
Yeah, the 10th staffer quit Kamala's office. She's the latest to resign. She was her national secretary advisor. You can see there on the screen all the people that have quit over the last, it's been a little bit more than a year since she became our vice president. This lady's name is Nancy McKell-Downey, and she will be replaced by her deputy. Said she had to step down to
Are you
focus
ready
on
for
some pressing.
some real knowledge to drop?
The governor and I, and we were all doing a tour of the library here, and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
Somebody should come up.
And nothing of value was said in that.
I'm sorry, but that newscaster, I just thought, is that Geralt talking? But it's like, hang on. His cadence is a lot slower and gentler than Geralt's. It can't
And he
be
said
him.
the words properly.
And he also didn't, like, do a wet burp.
There you go. Do you know about the significance of the passage of time now, Hobbit?
Such as in South Africa, the role of education in the USA. Such as.
The significance. You see, the significance of the passage of time is the significance of the passage of time, Hobbit.
Is this like when we say a bar is a place where food and drink may be purchased?
So,
by the way, that description of a bar is bollocks. It's like in that first dictionary where it's like description of cat, not a dog.
Should
See
we do
dog.
Kamala Harris or Brian Cox? Because you can imagine Brian Cox going, "Isn't cloud storage amazing? It's on your laptop and it's then therefore appearing this cloud that exists above us, right? It's no longer in a physical place. It's cloud storage amazing."
Do you want to store your file on your computer? Or in the cloud?
Well, don't
which
put it
is
on the
a-
cloud because it's not in your computer. It's in the cloud. It's not on your computer.
It's in the cloud, which is amazing. Isn't space amazing? You
Isn't
can
the
find-
significance of the passage of time amazing?
Isn't the education in South Africa such as amazing?
Just Kamala Harris's speeches are. Is she talking code to someone? Is that what it is? She's relaying spy messages to people. Is that what she's doing?
Oh, are you saying she's the modern equivalent for number station?
Yeah, she's a human number. She's a human number station.
When she laughs, it sounds like the Lincolnshire poacher.
Yeah. And Kamala Harris is the definitive proof of simulation theory, says Tom. Oh, she's just what? This is nothing new. Like, American politicians have always been idiots. Do you remember Dan Quayle, Hobbit? I don't think you're old enough to remember Dan Quayle, are you?
Is he the one that says a series of tubes?
I don't know. He's done some dumb shit, though.
Let's see if I can find who the one that says a series of tubes, because he's a famous one, isn't he? A series of tubes. A series of tubes is a phrase used originally as an analogy by the United States Senator Ted Stevens to describe the internet. So what did Dan Quayle say?
I did find something, but it doesn't fucking move. He spelt potato P-O-T-A-T-O-E. Ah, shit! He's done some more. It's
Potato?
top 25 quotes by Dan Quayle. What a terrible thing to have lost one's mind, or not to have a mind at all. How true that is. People are not homeless if they're sleeping in the streets of their own hometowns. If we don't succeed, we run the risk of failure.
What?
I used to smoke marijuana, but that was when I was in college, before it was a drug.
What?
Unfortunately, the people of Louisiana are not racist.
Not racist enough.
It's time for the human race to enter the solar system. The Holocaust was an obscene period in our nation's history. I mean, this century's history. But we all lived in this century. I didn't live in this century. Oh, dear. It's a question of whether we're going to go forward to the future or back or past to the back.
No, he didn't say that.
Yes, that's what he said.
No, he did not. No one would say that.
I was known as the chief grave robber of my state. We're going to have the best educated American people in the world. The global... You ready for some global politics here? The global importance of the Middle East is that it keeps the Far East and the Near East from encroaching on each other.
Yep.
No, I had no problem communicating with the Latin American heads of state, although I do now wish I'd paid more attention to Latin when I was in high school. I've made good judgments in the past, I've made good judgments in the future. This president is going to lead us out of this recovery. So that's Dan Quayle. There's loads more. Dan Quayle is a genius. He's up there with.
I'd take him over.
He's right up there. We need a Dan Quayle. A Dan Quayle Kamala Harris ticket.
Oh, can you imagine Dan
the
Quayle?
Speeches would just be out of this world, wouldn't they?
Dan Quayle for president?
Yeah, he was. I think he was George Bush's vice president, or it was either George Bush's or George Bush Senior, or he was Reagan's. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was Bush's.
Reagan.
Do you want to know why bank failures are caused, Hobbit?
Oh boy, do I ever!
Bank failures are caused by depositors who don't deposit enough money to cover losses due to mismanagement.
Yeah, that's
True.
right. It's all those tight-fisted kulaks. They're the ones.
Yeah.
All those poor people not putting enough money in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at some.
We have a firm commitment to NATO. We are a part of NATO. We have a firm commitment to Europe. We are a part of Europe.
Oh yeah. Oh, if you want to do some more Dan Quayle quotes, I've got a headline here from Unexplained Mysteries.
Yeah.
Right. This is. Hang on. I need to channel it
Hobbit,
because it's
one
amazing.
word sums up probably the responsibility of any vice president, and that one word is to be prepared.
Yes. That's
one
almost
word,
as good
to
as
be
being
prepared.
You know, the French have no word for entrepreneur.
What is the French for déjà vu?
This is a headline on Unexplained Mysteries, right? What if dark matter, which is amazing, and dark energy, which is also amazing, right? But what if they don't actually exist at all?
What if dark matter's bollocks?
What if dark matter and dark energy were amazing in that they didn't exist? Wouldn't that be amazing? Shall I read this out?
What if we made it all up?
This is written by Bastion of Science and Technology, Ranjit Puja Gupta.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah. Do constants of nature, the numbers that determine how things behave, like speed of light, change over time as the universe expands? Does light get a little tired travelling vast cosmic distances? It was believed that dark matter and dark energy
Does light get tired?
Yeah, this is Ranjit Puja Gupta. It was believed that dark matter and energy explain these cosmological phenomena, but recent research indicates that our universe has been expanding without dark matter or dark energy. Doing away with dark matter and fuck's sake, I'm just going to call it dark matter for now. I'm not going to say the bit. Resolves the impossible early galaxy problem.
Is dark energy what emo monk's full of?
Yes. That arises when trying to...
That's white energy.
I was sat next to someone on the bus that was comprised of dark matter.
Did you do that, Hobbit? Did he go?
Don't bum me. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying it was darky. So, dark matter is a hypothetical form of matter that does not interact with ordinary matter in it. Yeah, so in other words, it's not real. It was proposed as a theoretical...
Doesn't hypothetical mean not real?
It's a load of bollocks, right?
Yeah.
So
as we've been saying, Hobbit, as we've been saying on this show for years now.
We are Brian Cox disrespecters on this show.
Yes. Science isn't real.
Yeah.
Science is a joke. Science isn't real.
Yeah.
Professor Brian Cox, PhD, right?
Isn't dark matter amazing? Or it might not be if it doesn't exist.
We don't know. You are less credible than that bloke that's doing shark science.
Or Dan Quayle.
Dan Quayle, yes.
Little friend of the show, Dan Quayle.
You know what? Miss Teen USA South Carolina 2007 is more credible than you are, Professor Brian Cox. Now, I'd certainly listen to her talk more than, isn't that me amazing? Look at me, I'm on the...
Isn't made up bollocks amazing? Isn't dark matter amazing? Or it might not be.
On BBC 4, amazing. It's like BBC 2 in the 80s being all intellectual and boring, but now it's on digital TV, which is all we got. I'm sorry, I'm still not used to the fact that they switched over from analog, and I keep thinking of BBC 3 and 4 as those Freeview channels I don't get.
Yeah.
So doing away with the bollocks resolves the early galaxy problem. I'm going to refer to dark matter and dark energy as bollocks because it's easier to say.
Yeah.
That arises when trying to account for galaxies that do not adhere to expectations regarding to size and age. Finding an alternative to dark matter Finding an alternative to bollocks that complies with the existing cosmological observations, including galaxy distribution, is possible. Bollocks is a hypothetical form of matter that does not interact with ordinary
So
matter
bollocks is a bollocks form of matter. Is that what you're saying?
in any way except through gravity. It was proposed as a theoretical way to explain our astrophysical and cosmological observations. Ordinary matter can travel through the bollocks without any resistance and vice versa. In space, it can travel through it and vice versa.
Well, surely anything that doesn't exist isn't going to form resistance, is it?
It's amazing. It's like this imaginary made-up bollocks doesn't interact with matter in any way. It's great. In space, gravitational pull determines the speed at which an object orbits. A higher speed than
but
expected.
But if something doesn't exist, gravity can't affect it.
A higher speed than expected from surrounding orbiting objects is attributed to the existence and gravitational pull of bollocks. So, you know what? This would be much easier to explain as like, yeah, it turns out we don't actually know what these objects weigh, and that's why when they go faster than what we expected, it's because we don't know how to count.
Yeah.
They need like star-sized weighing scales that they can put the star on.
If only there was a theory that preceded this that explained such things.
Well, that would be unfair on Einstein and his work to go back to earlier theories.
Wouldn't that be unfair on Einstein and other people's work?
The work that he plagiarised and didn't even bother changing in the slightest and claiming it as his own. So where am I? Dark matter, bollocks matter. Alternative theories. There are alternatives to bollocks that account for many astrophysical observations. The oldest and most popular theory
is in the Starmerverse. I mean, are we going to be? Is this going to be illegal for crimes of heresy against science?
Oh, we're not allowed to say misinformation, are we? No, well, look, I'm reading out what somebody else has said. I don't necessarily condone or condemn.
No, that'll get you arrested as well. It doesn't matter. You can't do that, Hobbit.
I don't think you can knowingly or unknowingly. So if you don't know something's fact, you shouldn't talk about it.
I'm being forced under threat of violence by far-right thugs to read out the following statement. There are alternatives to dark matter, bollocks, that account for many astrophysical observations. The oldest and most popular theory is modified Newtonian dynamic, or also known as MOND, which suggests that Newtonian inverse square law of gravitational attraction force is a simplified version of a complete force that becomes perceptible only when... You see, look, when you're bamboozling people with these bullshit words, it means you don't really know, and you're hoping that it will just pull the wool over your eyes. You don't actually know what you're talking about. So they're saying it only becomes perceptible at only very large distances when Newtonian force becomes negligible. You're not measuring anything, so it's bollocks. Another alternative is a version of MOND that includes Einstein's relativistic ethics and explains observations.
Relativistic ethics? What the fuck does that mean?
Sorry, I mispronounced it. Relativistic. That word. And then the next word is effects. So the effects of relativism, such as cosmic microwave background radiation. Then there is
is this the new dark matter, is it?
Then there's the proposed theory of retarded gravity that also claims to comply with such observations. Gravity. By the way, I have the retard pass from Ricky Berwick, so I'm allowed to say that. It's my
Ricky
word.
Ricky Berwick was at London Comic Con, weren't he? That would have been quite funny going there and bumping into Ricky.
I wouldn't mind spending some time with Ricky.
Yeah, he's
after all, thank him for the retard pass. Yeah. But just not too close to him. I don't want to, in case crippleism catches. So where am I now? Theories, astronomers, MOND. Astronomers are surprised to learn that many observations show a complete absence of bollocks or bollocks. The list leads one to question its existence. One there has to find an explanation of what might have created the problem, such as tidal forces exerted by the passing of nearby galaxies, stripping away bollocks. Even the mass of the Milky Way has recently been determined to be much smaller than expected from cosmology. I'm sorry, but like any cosmologist saying the weight of the galaxy is this much, I'm like, look, seriously, what you're saying right now is, I've calculated that Superman fighting against Doctor Evil would result in the following actions happening. It's all made up bollocks. You're getting paid to do the like comic book guy. At least there, he's got a genuine job where he runs his own shop and sells a viable product. All you're doing is literally like, what if Batman fought against tooth decay? It just no.
He fought against nicotine. Do you remember that? Do you remember the nicotine? Do you remember that?
Oh, that's terrible. Yes, I do know that. So, does bollocks exist? Recent discoveries.
That's quite unusual for you two to get a reference that I've just fucking put out.
I think I've actually read Nicotine, the comic. It's bad.
It was only an animated thing on the advert.
Recent discoveries create doubt around the existence of dark matter. You probably showed it to me. Despite extensive research and billions of dollars in investment, there's been no direct detection of any bollocks. The bollocks theory negates the gravitational.
So they haven't detected something that doesn't exist. Wow, fucking hell.
Cool. So, gravitational pull of matter causing the universe to expand faster.
Wouldn't this article be so much funny if you actually read it how it was said? They failed to detect something that doesn't exist. Wow, more news at 10.
Yeah, I know, right? But so, despite extensive research and billions of dollars in investment, there's been no direct detection of any bollocks. Oh yeah, I've already just said that.
Weird.
Yeah. Causing the universe to expand faster than time. So, right. The interrelated variation, again, using these big $5 words, like use normal people words, and then maybe people understand that you're just talking bollocks.
Well, the idea is that they've got to like fluff over the fact that dark matter doesn't exist, and they've gone down this fucking blind alleyway for how long? They've been talking about dark matter now?
400 years.
Fucking long. Look, I know when I'm being bamboozled, and you're trying to make look. All they're doing here is like, look, we lied. It's a load of bollocks, and I'm going to use some big words here, so you can't.
It's like when JML tell you about their patented technology.
Yeah, but JML presents things a lot better than this.
Yeah,
this is like try and bamboozle people with words and hope that they go.
Well, if JML did this, they'd go. It'd be the scientist blowing his fringe out of his hair with his chewing on his pencil, and it'd be like, are you having trouble explaining how gravity works? Try the new and improved dark matter.
The JML dark matter be gone.
The JML dark matter with new and improved JML dark matter. You can fill in all of those pesky gaps that get in the way of explaining stuff.
Research grants, appearances on BBC 4, dinner with Professor Brian Cox, all can be yours and more with the JML dark matter. What's the bullshit word that annoyed me in here? Interrelated. So where's... you know what? I've actually lost my position, so I'm going to have to type in Control F. Right, so first of all, Control F.
Dan Quayle was Bush Senior's running mate.
Yeah, that's what you said. The interrelated variation.
No, I said I weren't sure if it was Reagan or, but
yeah, constants of nature. Yeah, well, Reagan's vice president was George Bush. Dubbed convarying coupled constants, achieved the same effect by weakening the gravitational pull and other forces of nature with time, eliminating the need for bollocks. Combined with tiered light (TL),
do you know when George Bush choked on a pretzel and threw up? That was funny.
He actually just got blind drunk and fell on his face. But
apparently, he was in his old days. The Secret Service used to drop him back home all the time, pissed out of his fucking brain, didn't they? George Jr. was the absolute last pick for anybody who should ever become president. Weren't he? He was the complete loser son that for some reason ended up as president.
It's funny. Before he did the sniff, he was actually quite an eloquent speaker. I've seen some stuff from him from the 80s. The thing is, though, they're not going to say to the world, yeah, he got blackout drunk and fell on the floor like King Cobra JFS. It's like, yeah, he choked on the pretzel.
Yeah.
So anyway,
which makes him sound even more incompetent. Like, would you really trust anyone who could choke on a pretzel?
So the CCC approach could also replace the dark energy, the bollocks like Constant considered responsible for the extremely rapid expansion of the universe following the Big
CCC?
Bang. CCC is combined with tiered light. The effect posits that light slows down as a result of energy loss. Such a cosmological model has no room for bollocks.
So they've got what's the actual problem that they've had to use dark matter to try and fix?
Are they admitting that light is not infinite? Is that what they're trying to say?
No,
but the problem is then they're messing around with the speed of light, aren't they?
Right.
They haven't thought this one through, because it'll affect the speed of light, so you will be able to overtake light at a certain.
There's actually a lot more of this bullshit I want to get through. Fuck off, cunt! It's Thursday.
So you could actually jump the speed of light if you know. So if light originates from somewhere and goes to somewhere else, if you're far enough along, then you could jump the speed of light.
Fake!
What?
Get the idea, dickhead! If I'm hanging up on you, it's because I'm busy. There's no point texting him. He never reads any of my texts.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other great thing he does, right? He's actually going to be listening to this, so he knows I've said this. Yeah. Right. He rings me up, and then just as I go to pick it up, he hangs up. And then I ring him back, like, within 5 seconds, and there's no answer.
Women do that.
And I just,
my missus does that all the time.
Yeah, why? Why do people do that? It's like, look, you clearly wanted to talk to me. Did you just like throw your phone out the window in a fit of rage?
Don't know. Women do that. It's weird, isn't it? They ring you. You literally just as the last ring goes off, and then you ring them back, and then they don't answer for 10 minutes. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's right up there with dark matter, isn't it?
I'm not going to read the rest of what Poopta Gupta, adjunct professor at physics of the University of Ottawa, said, because it's just like he basically Poopta Gupta is saying, please keep giving me money, and my Canadian visa might be at stake if this all goes wrong.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to bamboozle people. Look at all these words I found in the thesaurus.
It's has he not realised the other problems that he's causing? Like, he's going to mess around with the speed of light. Like, the speed of light is supposed to be a galactic constant, isn't it?
Oh, for relativity, yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's fucking like, he really hasn't thought of the implications of what he's saying.
I'm like, look, it's like. I know what Indians have done with Windows and all the other programs they've shitted
they're going to do the same. They're going to do the same to the speed of light.
They're going to do the same to astrology then. So
yeah.
Oh, thank you, Dom Elf Kicker. Radar stands for radio detection and ranging.
Yeah. What does the other A stand for?
I think that's what the "and" is part of. And they probably just put in, because radar would be a bit hard to say, so they just put in the because it's one of those acronyms where they take the RA from radio and then detection and ranging. Yeah, because most acronyms, they don't do that. They take that one for the Vatican's observatory called Lucifer.
No, ROSPA. ROSPA does the same, doesn't it? It's the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents, isn't it?
Oh, right. But I was just thinking, most... the first acronym that comes to mind, and I told my dad about this, and this is the thing, right? I tell my dad stuff, and then a few months later, and he comes back, it's like, oh, you'll never believe what I just found out about CERN. Oh, you'll never believe what I just found out about the Vatican. It's like, what did you find out, Dad? Well, it turns out in CERN, they've got this logo that shows 666. And it's like, oh, that's interesting.
Did you not play along and go, where did you hear that then, Dad?
And it's like, did you see the statue of Shiva in the front? Yeah, I did. So how did you know about that? It's like, oh, well, heard it somewhere. And then again, it's just with the Vatican. So you'll not believe this, right, son? But they've got this. He never calls me son, by the way. He calls me Hobbit.
Yeah.
And he said to me, Hobbit, the Vatican have got this telescope, and it's called Lucifer, and it's really convoluted, like how they managed to get it. So let me just try and find Vatican. Oh, I keep using the wrong keyboard. Hang on. Vatican keyboard. Vatican telescope. Lucifer. And then after that, we should call it a day because I can't.
Yeah, we've gone 12 past. This is long. We've gone long.
I know.
Oh, this is a website that's not Snopes. It's called Answers in Genesis. From time to time, at Answers in Genesis, we get inquiries about a telescope called Lucifer that the Vatican supposedly owns. The story's been circulating on the internet for nearly a decade. It certainly sounds shocking, so it's no wonder when people ask us, is there any truth to this rumour? Fuck me. This is like Snope for Christians.
Snopes for Christians.
Many people are surprised to learn that Vatican even has an observatory. The history of the Vatican Observatory goes back 2.5
I know
centuries.
it's observatory. It's in Omen 3.
During
Isn't it?
There's been some turmoil.
It's either in the Omen or it's in one of the Omen films. I think it's the Omen 3. I'm not 100% sure.
Therefore, more than half a century ago, the Vatican Observatory established a research group at the Steward Observatory of University of Arizona in Tucson, where the Vatican Observatory's headquarters remains in Italy. So anyway, the 1993 they built the Vatican Advanced Technology Telescope called the VAT, and that was operated at Mount Graham in southeast Arizona. So anyway, what about Lucifer? Oh, they got one here called the Closed Circuit Cooling Photometer called CCCP. So right, here we go. Now,
Craig Wilson's off. He says, "Nighty night, stay spooky."
Large binocular telescope, near-infrared spectroscopic utility with camera and integral field unit for extragalactic research. Lucifer. It's fucking bollocks.
What's next? Chameleonic life forms. Oh fuck, I can't remember it. Clitoris.
Clitoris.
From Red Dwarf. No thanks. What is it? Oh shit.
No, well, hang on. Let me see if I find clitoris. This is going to be an interesting search term.
Can I find the clitoris?
Dwarf. Red Dwarf Polymorph TV episode.
Yeah, don't put "Can I find the clitoris?"
Oh, here we go. Right. So it is, and this is my own personal preference. The Committee for the Liberation and Integration of Terrifying Organisms and Their Rehabilitation in Society. The abbreviation is clitoris.
I vote we hit them hard with a leafleting campaign.
Yes, and quiche. Give quiche a chance.
Oh dear. We done then?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
I think we've hit all the usual targets hard enough, haven't we? Night all and stay spooky.